Welcome back to the Snod Pod with Jon Snodgrass, your mortgage resource, where we're talking real estate, mortgages, and beyond. Today I've got Aaron Schwid of ALCS Lawn Care in to talk lawn care, some landscaping. Aaron, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I thought it was good timing as we're getting close to the end of winter here. So, well, first, I would just like to start. How did you get started, and when did you get started in lawn care, landscaping, fertilizer, all the good stuff?
Yeah, I started in the year 2000. I was a 16-year-old in high school.
Oh, man.
Mowing lawns for the neighbors, and fell into some commercial lawn mowing and landscaping work, and went to MATC for landscape horticulture after high school, and grew the business for the last 25 years.
Okay. So when you started, is it just like, I'm thinking the lawnmower, I've got the push Toro,
and
then did you get one of the big ones or a truck?
Yep.
Right? How?
Yeah, so then we bought a trailer, and I bought commercial sit-down lawnmower, and
Okay.
The first commercial property I did was about 6 acres of grass.
Okay.
Took me all day Saturday to get it done, and now it's something that our crews could do in a couple hours. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we just grew around kind of word of mouth and some old traditional ways of growing business pre-internet.
So just like going to like door to door?
Yeah, mailers, flyers,
okay.
Cold call stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a different time,
Yeah.
to grow a business, but very successful in creating routes and building.
So you started out just when you're 16, which is amazing
Yeah.
to me that you had the gumption to get going. So you just kind of knew this is your path.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of, a 16-year-old making some money, didn't have to work at McDonald's or, something like that.
Outside.
Be outside and really go out and, just enjoy what you're doing. And brought in a number of my buddies from high school and college, and they really helped grow the company over the years. And, it was something that, money motivating it,
Sure.
and results driven. So and I got the winters off.
Yeah. How quickly did you go from one employee? Like, where'd you go from one to?
Yeah.
How did it progress?
So by the time I
to
was
the peak, or
yeah.
wherever you're
So
at.
by the time I was out of high school, I had two buddies working for me. And we progressed in that. By year 8, I was out of the field. Managing the business.
So just running the business.
Yeah,
at this
running
point.
multiple crews, and we had some hiccups along the way. The 2008 recession really didn't hurt our business, but it brought in a great pool of workforce.
Okay.
So we would have 20, 30 applicants for one position.
Oh, wow.
And a different time, but they. Working through that and kind of developing, hitting our stride. And then at the peak, we were 25 field staff employees, running multiple crews, landscape, project construction, and lawn maintenance, mowing, fertilization, weed control.
Okay.
2023, we exited the lawn maintenance landscaping.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And just focus on fertilization, weed control.
Okay. Can I ask, was there a reason why you left, or was it just like got an offer you couldn't refuse, or?
Yeah, I was approached by
combination of things?
I was approached by an out-of-state company that wanted to get into the Milwaukee market, and a lot of back and forth, and it just didn't work out. But we kind of had made up, my wife and I had made up our minds that maybe it was time to kind of refocus the business.
Yeah.
And found a great local company that wanted to expand their maintenance and landscaping. And so we worked out a deal where we would just take on all the fertilization we control for those clients and just focus on that. So we went from 25 field staff down to 5.
Okay.
And just, I think it was time to make life a little easier.
Was it like where you're thinking, man, I got 25 employees? I've just, I've talked to a bunch of business owners and they said, hey, it's a challenging part, not necessarily the favorite part of the gig is managing people. Was it like you were growing and you had to get bigger, or you wanted to stay right where you're at, or sell, or like a crossroads, if you will?
We were definitely at a crossroads. It was at the point where we were going to have to add more management, more office staff to continue to grow, probably a larger facility than we were in.
Okay.
So it was a big crossroads, and I think timing coming out of COVID, and we felt through our fertilization, weed control, lawn care sector of our business that there was a demand and a need to give the customer a different experience than what they were getting with what I would call like the big box lawn care, the franchises, the national companies.
Yeah.
And
I know the names. I think you're talking, but they call me all the time.
Yeah. And there was I think an opportunity. So we saw the opportunity, and I think timing was the biggest thing.
Okay.
My wife and I wanted a little more time. We were really running hard, and I think it was a good move for us.
Okay. Well, jump around because I want to get back to the landscape, but since you brought up the fertilizer portion of the business, because pretty much most people are doing that. What's the difference? You mentioned the big box places. What's the difference between what you're doing for weed killing / fertilizer versus the big box?
Yeah. So we use extremely high quality products. It's granular fertilizers that are slow release, that really feed your lawn in a long duration, do a really nice job, where some of the big box, let's say, are putting down a product that just releases right away. You get this big spike of growth. You're baling hay, cutting your grass like crazy, and then it kind of fizzles out. The products we use are a longer duration feed, nice deep green, even color, and then our weed control that we use is just great products. But on top of the products, we have extremely experienced and knowledgeable staff that we always say we're not just dropping product on your lawn, we're evaluating your lawn, and we're doing what's best for your lawn. So a little bit of the experience and the products really set us apart. And then our office staff, very responsive, will always get back to you, reply to your emails, answer the phone. Some of the things that I always took for granted as the basics of running a business that have seemed to go away over time here.
Well, and then also to be able to get in touch with the owner if needed, compared to the big box where I'm getting these calls from a call center.
Yeah.
So it's not in Wisconsin, I'll tell you that, based on some of the accents, and that's okay. But I like different accents, talking to different people.
I'm generally the first point of contact, so
you generally
answer the phone.
There you go.
Reply to emails, and definitely
there's something to be said
hands-on
for that.
Yeah,
and I like just in general working with local. I mean, in my mortgage business and real estate agents I work with and people that are selling homes. I mean, typically they want to see a local place because first of all, known and whatnot, but
and locally we know what the lawns need.
Yeah.
We know what's going on in different areas. The last few years, areas of western Milwaukee and Wauwatosa have seen like huge grub outbreaks. So we know these things, so we can let our customers know, like, hey, maybe you should do a grub prevention.
What's a grub?
So a grub is a larva of a Japanese beetle. In most cases, that's the grub we're targeting, is a Japanese beetle larva.
Okay.
And it feeds on the roots of the turf. So it can really destroy a lawn in no time. Most of the time, you aren't going to notice it until the grass itself is dead and brown. And you say, my grass died.
Yeah.
And you don't know why. Or critters like raccoons, skunks, squirrels, they'll dig up these grubs, and your lawn will look like
they
it's
want to eat them?
rototilled. Yeah, they're going after the food. So they'll just pull all the dying
Moles
turf
too?
back. Yeah. So,
Okay.
so yeah, it'll really do a number to your lawn, and those are things that we've noticed that some of the other competition out there just isn't identifying or keeping up on.
Okay.
And our technicians are really good at noticing this stuff, diagnosing and preventing it from happening.
Okay. Jumping around again.
Yeah.
So you just mentioned the grass browning. I'm just curious, we haven't had a whole lot of snow this year.
Yeah.
And one of my arborvitaes, I got quite a few, is kind of gone brown.
Yep.
Is there an issue when we don't get enough snow in regards to our trees or shrubs or grass? Does that, I don't know if you can speak to that or. Yeah,
winter drought is a real thing. Lack of snow cover, lack of moisture in the winter can really do a number. Over the years, we've had a great partnership with Hoppy Tree Service.
I love Hoppy Tree Service.
Yeah, referring a lot of our tree and shrub work to them for plant health care.
Yeah.
They're top notch as far as plant health care in our market, and we really have built a great partnership with those guys.
Fred Hoppy's been on the pod. Trying to get Fred and August, his brother, to both come on.
Yeah.
Kind of fun dynamic, talk a little bit
Absolutely.
with them. So that's awesome that you're working with them. But I guess let's maybe jump to, at this time of year, what should we be doing? Getting prepared for.
Yeah.
If we want to get landscaping or if we're thinking about mulch, anything we should be thinking about.
Yeah, landscaping and maintenance and landscape projects in general. We're coming into spring here. Really now's a good time to get on the books with your landscaper or your lawn maintenance or your lawn care provider.
Okay.
Really reach out and
But you're not affiliated, or are you still affiliated with the company that you sold to, or are you?
No, not really. So we have a great network of landscape maintenance companies and landscape construction companies that we refer work to.
So if somebody likes working with you on the fertilizer, weed killing, hey, they call you Aaron.
Yeah. Hey, Aaron, I need someone to cut my lawn. I need someone to do my yard cleanup.
Yeah.
Just reach out. We can definitely steer you in the right direction with a good contractor that's going to show up, going to answer the phone, going to do a great job. But now is the time to kind of start planning that.
Okay.
If you're going to do some mulching.
How early should we be mulching?
Generally, we when we were doing the landscape work, we like to get the mulch down before a lot of your perennials start to come up.
Okay.
So before the weeds start to emerge. April? So April, early
March,
May. March wouldn't be bad. We kind of tend to do our commercial work really early, late March. Just to kind of get a jump on it. But residentially, April, May, a great time to get out. A good layer of mulch will retain moisture for your plants. It will reduce the weed growth in your planting beds, and aesthetically it looks nice.
Yeah, aesthetically. I mean, so that's mainly what we're doing. But just curious, is there a difference? Because I go to Home Depot. Yeah, what's the difference?
Yeah, so a lot of the mulch products are it's a recycled product, so you can do the bark mulch like a hardwood bark, where it's more of the bark of hardwood trees, more shredded, natural. They tend to bleach out a little quicker, lose their color, but it's a natural product, breaks down, replenishes the soil. And then there's the whole line of what they call enviro mulch, dyed mulch, the browns, the reds, the oranges.
Yeah.
Generally, that's recycled hardwood material or shipping pallets or any type of hardwood. Stays around a little longer, holds its color. It will break down. It just takes a little longer. It's probably more aesthetically pleasing. It lasts longer.
Yeah.
But
does it affect negatively one or the other, the aesthetically pleasing one? Because that's usually when we go with one of the red.
Yeah.
Or we will change it up.
Yeah, not necessarily. It doesn't really affect anything. I think the natural
of perennials or
no.
Okay.
The natural bark or pine or something like that, it'll break down and kind of replenish the soil a little quicker. But generally it's more about the aesthetics.
Okay. And then maybe we'll wrap up this one because I know we were at our pre-production meeting. You were telling me about kind of your other gig is real estate, which obviously that's what I'm in. So that's another fun topic to do. But before we get to that one, What is there like a, I don't know, regular project or favorite landscape project or most popular landscape that you, when you were doing it, that people were doing, or anything you recommend?
Yeah, I mean,
bush
for
or
us,
something?
it was just being able to enjoy your outdoor space, whether it's having a green weed-free lawn or a nice outdoor space to enjoy a patio fire pit, things like that.
Aesthetically pleasing and
Yep.
kind of bring you.
Yeah, a lot of plant material, adding to different textures and colors and smells in your yard. Great screening. Screening plantings to kind of separate yourself from your neighbor, but not create not put up a fence or a wall. So, those are really kind of what our bread and butter was, creating nice outdoor spaces for clients to enjoy. And then, not having to worry about it. So maintaining it for them, so you can come home on the weekend and enjoy it instead of, pushing the lawnmower or putting down weed control.
Let Aaron take care of it and his crew.
Yeah.
Going back, something popped in my head on the fertilizer. Is it necessary? Because this is something I haven't done. At the end of the year, every couple of years, you're supposed to. I can't think of it, where you're digging.
Yeah, core aerate.
Aerated. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm a huge believer in core aeration. We really push our clients with lawns that are thin or a little, some bare spots, to consider core aeration. And then in conjunction with core aeration, we do an overseeding. We have a machine that will pull the core plugs and drop grass seed down at the same time. And it really helps to improve the lawn. Fall is the best time to do that. You'll get the cooler night temperatures, and Mother Nature will help you out with some rain there, and reduces your watering. Yes. So we really are a big believer in core aeration overseed. But it really will help turn your lawn around.
How often should we be doing it?
We recommend, if you haven't done it.
I haven't done it. So I'm going to be calling you, setting up. I'm moving to you for fertilizer.
Yeah, so I would at least do it like the first 2 seasons. We have a lot of people switch to like an every other schedule, but we do have clients that are like, I want my lawn to be the best. I want this thing thick, lush, full. They'll do it every year.
Every year.
And
that could be beneficial.
Yeah, and if you're riding like a lawn tractor or a zero-turn mower,
I got to push, but if you are,
then the compaction of the soil, under your turf, loosening that up, breaking it up, allowing the nutrients and the water to get down. So core aeration is really good for breaking up that compacted soil layer. So if it's something where your kids are playing on the lawn all summer, playing soccer, baseball, that it just gets pounded. It's a good way to do improve the flow of your lawn, get the nutrients down to where it needs to be, let the water absorb. It sounds great.
I want my lawn looking the best on my.
We'll get you on the schedule.
Let's get me on the schedule. What about last one? Timing after you put the application down before we go out and
so some
throw
of
the
our
ball around or get the dog out there.
So some of our applications that we do have an herbicide in them, or an insecticide, which require you to stay off the lawn. The state of Wisconsin requires that we place a flag or a sign on all entry points of your lawn, and their mandate is sunset the next day. So a good 24 hours off the lawn.
It's a good idea.
And then you can get right back on it with people and pets.
Got it.
But the way, something like we were talking about, a little different than the big box. Not all of our applications are pesticides. So a conventional fertilizer, granular fertilizer, mineral based, those do not have pesticides or herbicides in them. So some of our visits, there's no restrictions, so you can get right on it and get back to it. So we try to limit the amount of pesticide use, more target applications, really good products that you're not going to have to come back every time and treat weeds. We treat weeds 2 times a year. Big box might treat weeds 5 times a year and still not get the results that we're achieving. So, not all products are created equal.
Got it. All right. Well, let's wrap this one up.
Yeah.
Snod Podsters, if that's the right term for people that listen. Call Aaron Schwid at ALCS Lawn Care for fertilizer and weed killing. And if you want a good recommendation for landscaping, he's got them for you. Aaron, thanks for coming on. Do you want to give like your credential or like your website or phone number real quick? Just look right there.
Yeah. Reach us the best way is alcslawncare.com. We have a customer inquiry form. Fill that out. I'll turn your quote around same day. So, reach out to us. We'd love to help you with your lawn care.
Phone number?
414-688-7591.
All right.
Thanks.
Aaron, thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right, this has been the Snod Pod with Jon Snodgrass, your mortgage resource, where we're talking mortgages, real estate, lawn care, fertilizer, aeration, and beyond. Thanks for coming.